As you can see, I'm a very bubbly person, so it's really, I don't hold on to pain for long, and if I do, somebody has to come along and say, really? I've got friends, you understand this, ladies, those of you that are leaders, you have friends that will say, oh, I sympathize with you, oh, I understand, and hand you tissue, and then you have another friend, okay, I heard you, get over it. You know? And those of you, you're like me, when you have a pity party, you don't invite the friend who would say, get over it. You invite the friend and say, oh, let's do tea, let's sit down, you know? And so I had those people in my life at that time. And it was really, really difficult because, and so we were young leaders. And when you're young in leadership, there's few friends that you have at that time because they're dependent on you. And what I've always had in my life is spiritual mothers, the older women. I call them the mature women. Those wonderful grey hairs of honor, because they speak a wisdom unfiltered. And the more mature they get, or I call it the closer to heaven they become, is the less grace they have, because they want you to get over it quickly. And so I often kept those women around in my life because they are unbiased. They want the best for you. And I used to avoid them, but now I love them. Because the older you get is the more you seek out wisdom. That's my phrase, you seek out wisdom. And then my second miscarriage was after I had my 2 children, and it was 92, because I was born 94. And that was an even more hard period of our lives, because we were getting settled and my husband traveled even more. The phrase in our house is, every time I gave birth, a new country opened up to him. I was like I said, I'm the mother of nations. when I gave birth to Marina, our oldest, Africa opened up to him, and he was gone. She was a month old, and he was gone for 6 weeks. And I still tease him to this day, because Mother Shirley, baby, when he was leaving, he didn't say, oh, honey, I'll miss you. Oh, honey, I'll try and call you, because back in those days when you called, it was, hello? He said, live on your knees. I was just like, really? no hug and kiss goodbye, live on your knees, right? 6 weeks, new child. Oh, he's changed, man, he's more romantic now, but that was our early years. And so when our second child was born, America opened up to him when Caleb was born, and he was coming to Portland, Oregon, and Portland, Oregon, British Columbia, Idaho, Spokane. Those are the west side, the west coast. West side. I was British to correct me, weren't you? West Coast opened up for him, and so that's where our life began. And so when Zoe was about to be, when I had my miscarriage with Zoe, Africa, another side of Africa opened up to him. And I felt like a failure, because here he was, ready again to step out into something new, and I'm the holdback, because he said, I'm not going to go, I'm going to stay to take care of you. So we sent new leaders that we've been training, he sent them in his stead. And one of the beautiful things that God allowed me to do, which was another healing, they didn't know how I would react in the send-off for these young men that were going. And I said, I will pray over them. And I stepped up, which is so unlike me at the time, because I was just in pain and agony in my own self. But I turned it around, and I prayed over them. And I couldn't tell you what I prayed, but it was the most wonderful healing prayer. As I prayed for them, I healed myself. And what I've learned also as ladies is that no matter how much you're hurting, God still hears your voice. Yes. Because it's not about you, it's about His presence flowing through you. And can you be available? And so it was so many hard lessons that I've learned, but it proved my faith. Because at a time when my faith was shaky, thinking that I'm the reason that he has to stay back, here God allowed me to sow into that seed of going. Learned to sow into somebody else's vision, sow into somebody else's purpose. I'm all about that, because you are fulfilling things in yourself as well as helping them fulfill things in themselves.
Right.
And it's been an amazing journey.